Welcome back to Primetime News.
And a special welcome to those of you watching on onespotmedia.com.
Up first this evening, the police will be looking into the death of Jodian, the woman who died after giving birth on the weekend, to determine if charges are to be laid against anyone.
Well, the Prime Minister made the announcement at a press conference which is still in progress. Dwayne Anderson has been monitoring and now joins us live. Dwayne?
Thanks, guys. So the Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, began the now customary press briefing with a comment on the story of Jodian. Her story was first brought to the public's attention by TVJ's Kirk Wright on Friday. Now, the Prime Minister said the police have already begun investigations to look at whether charges for criminal negligence can be laid on anyone.
It appears that the duty of care owed to Jodian was not executed. The case must be fully investigated. And already the police have commenced their own investigation to determine if anyone was criminally negligent. But even before the case is complete, I think the public sentiment of being totally appalled, of being angry at the situation is very much justified. In the midst of crisis, no matter what the panic is, no matter what the fear is, we must all seek to protect lives. And a strong message has to be sent from all levels of government that this incident does not reflect the government's position. This is not something that we will in any way seek to have hidden, covered up, not thoroughly investigated. The full force of the state and all its resources must be placed in ensuring we get to the bottom of this issue, and those who are responsible must be held to account.
Now, for the Prime Minister, the case is a reminder of the discrimination we are fighting in Jamaica in trying to halt this virus.
But there have been calls for other forms of investigation, which we are sympathetic to, we have considered, but we just want to be sure that whatever action that we take, it does not in any way impact upon other civil or criminal actions that could be taken in our courts. So by tomorrow, the Attorney General will give us some advice, and then we will speak further as to how the government will proceed. The matter brings out an issue which the entire Jamaica must be sensitive to, and that is the issue of stigmatizing persons who are either confirmed positive or suspected to be positive. The extreme cases have come to my attention of families being totally ostracized by their communities, members of communities put out of their community, people threatened with physical violence. And now we have a situation where a young Jamaican has died. We all, and I started with the point and I want to end on this point, we must always remember our humanity. We cannot allow fear and panic to overtake good sense and professional duty. Minister.
Now, I must tell our viewers that this press brief was supposed to have started around 6 this evening. However, it started around 45 minutes later at 6:45. But despite the late start, we will give you an update later in the newscast on the wider COVID situation in the country. But until then, it's back to you, Andrea.
Thank you very much, Dwayne. And in a follow-up to our exclusive story we broke on Friday regarding the handling of the Jodian Ferron matter, the Southeast Regional Health Authority, SARA, says it now has a preliminary report on the issue. The lawyer representing Ms. Ferron's family says legal action will be taken following the reports that she was denied access to the hospitals.
Our news center has been informed that the chairman of the Southeast Regional Health Authority, Wentworth Charles, got the preliminary report and has since passed it on to the Ministry of Health. It's reported that the chief medical officer is the person in the ministry who is handling the case. We have not been able to get any information on what's contained in the report. The University Hospital of the West Indies, UHII, said in a statement that it's urging all private facilities and practices to put in place a protocol and an isolation area for patients who may have COVID-19, as it may be difficult to predict which patient may present to their facility with the virus. The statement added that the UHII strongly recommends that facilities consult with the hospital before performing complex procedures that may result in blood loss and other complications, which may require critical and advanced aftercare at UHII during this global pandemic. That aside, the family has retained an attorney, Isaac Buchanan, who says legal action will be taken following reports that she was denied admission to hospitals. Speaking on Radio Jamaica's Beyond the Headlines today, Mr. Buchanan said there has been little or no communication with the family.
Are you saying to me that no one from the Ministry of Health has yet been in direct contact with the family, other than, or from the government indeed, other than the public statements that we've seen issued?
The contact from the ministry, save and except for condolences, and there was a contact from the ministry to confirm sometime today, which we already would have heard from the university, that she did not have COVID-19. That is the extent of the communication. And I was there with them, so I can confirm that is the extent of it.
The post-mortem on Jodian Ferron's body will be performed tomorrow at the University Hospital of the West Indies. The family's attorney, Isaac Buchanan, told our news center on Monday evening that Dr. Jesper Ford had been secured as the independent medical observer at the autopsy. In the meantime, Ms. Ferron's colleagues at the Passport, Immigration and Citizens Agency, PICA, have been using social media to send their support for her family. We have also learned this evening that Ms. Ferron's baby, who we have heard is doing well, was released to the family this evening. Kirk Wright, TVJ News.